All right, everybody, what's up? Welcome to your reading for the new moon in Aquarius. If you've never tuned in before, I'm Indigo Instinct Healing. My name's Kate. I channel directly from the divine. I read for the collective, and I channel for one color of the collective rainbow. So if these readings and what I'm saying resonate with you, awesome. And if they don't, then no worries. I am using a new deck for this new moon in Aquarius, a new, very old deck. It's also the Lunar New Year on the 1st of February. And so if you've been feeling like you need a little bit of a fresh start or turning the corner, this new moon / New Year should feel really good for you, as well as the fact that we are exiting Venus retrograde, technically sort of last night and tonight, exiting Venus retrograde, which means that Venus being the planet of love, it often is more of like a stabilizing feeling as well as can be resolution in sort of communications in love or how you're sharing yourself. Clarity and sort of a sense of grounding usually follows that as well. And so if you've been feeling like you have been particularly been moving uphill, this might feel really relieving to you as you get a broader sense of what is going on instead of feeling like you're just in the landscape and sort of in the trenches and not really recognizing the bigger picture. So, new moon in Aquarius. There's so many things I want to say without pulling a card. Yeah, okay, so this is for the people who have, let's see if we can get this autofocus. Sorry, the lighting is quite low tonight. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get this to go clear. Come on. Shoot. Okay, well, we'll have to do it from here. So we've got our Pilgrim and the Eight of Mirrors. And so this is very much a journeyman, journey person card. And this is for the people who have been struggling and who find winter a particularly difficult time. People who generally feel isolated in the winter or a sort of deep sense of depth within themselves that isn't always easy to be in. There is a greater message that's coming with this weight that accompanies you in the winter. And usually people who feel like this feel this quite irregularly. And Aquarius really encourages us to look at things sort of from a Pippi Longstocking perspective, from an upside down angle of what's going on. And so the message with this Eight of Mirrors is that you are meant for a much bigger purpose. And your ability and your capacity to feel deeply is a necessary ingredient within the recipe of you being able to empathize and understand the bigger holistic picture so that the work that you will do and are doing will affect the volume of people that it is meant to affect. And so I know that those two comparisons of sort of isolation and loneliness and affecting great numbers can sort of seem like a paradox, but it's more about being willing to go to the corners of the psyche that so many are afraid to go to and will often turn away from or reject or make fun of because they would never take themselves there. And so that is an honorable journey and a very powerful one, although it does require and include a lot of self-reflection. Sorry about the blurriness there. But the recommendation, sort of the request from Spirit in this particular instance and for this new moon is, how can you find the ways in which you are self-reflective more enjoyable? You know, is it easier to be self-reflective when you're doing yoga? It's less painful. Or maybe it's easier to be self-reflective if you're on a run or you're painting, even if you're not good at it. And so allowing us to find places where we can make those edges softer, because this aspect of us isn't going to change. You're not going to stop being this deep. And so finding a way to make that enjoyable. Maybe it's stitching socks or making weird patterns with thread or starting an instrument or whatever. As long as there is an outlet that allows you to coast in the rivers of that reflexivity without feeling that it's quite so sharp or quite so heavy. A lot of information from one card tonight. I think I'm just going to pull one more. I said this in my 2022 energy forecast. If you haven't watched it, it's on YouTube and it's also on Instagram, both under Indigo Instinct Healing. But simplicity and simplifying your life, both the inside of your home and the outside of your home, and just all of it, the full circle simplification, is going to be a really huge key moving forwards in this year. 2022 is very, very much a balance year that just keeps coming through. It's all about balance. It's about harmony. It's about restoration. But all of that is easier to accomplish when there's less tasks. So make your life simpler. Get rid of your clothes, some of your clothes. Pare down in a way that allows you to not get overwhelmed by the amount of options that you have, and allow that the ones that you do have in your routine or sort of in your habits, is that you can I lost my train of thought there, but here, I'm just going to have to get it back. Yes, allowing yourself to simplify the habits that you have so that you're not losing any time. I mean, the word that's coming through here instead of time is energy. Like, you're not wasting any energy trying to preoccupy yourselves with things that make you happy and that bring you joy. Our times are not getting easier, and so this is going to be very helpful, and it's going to be a very useful skill. Interesting. Okay, so our second half sort of this reading. Oh, there we go. This one autofocuses. Wonderful. So this is technically a tarot deck. So it says Queen of Spirals, and the character is the Muse with her little deer. And what's coming through, there we go. What's coming through for this card, again, on a holistic sense, we're talking Lunar New Year, so viewing our lives as a whole, viewing our world as a whole, viewing our journey as a whole, and where can we bring in more poetry? Where can we make our lives more poetic? Do you have any outlets, any habits that allow you to be creative in a sense? Whether that's just writing down things that you're grateful for, or doodling, or whatever, any sort of creative habit. Maybe the way that you bring poetry into your life is through observation, recognizing the beauty in the trees, in the ice that's on the ground for us out here in the Maritimes in the winter. The way that the ocean sounds, or the way that the rain falls, bringing a poetic element into your life. Libras, this is very much a Libran year, 2022. Libras are very concerned with poetic harmony and aesthetics. And so the more that you can cultivate that, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a practice right now, or you don't have to feel badly that this isn't something you already do or are conscious of. But if you can cultivate a practice of recognizing beauty, this is a private thing. Nobody needs to know what it is that you find beautiful and how you find that appreciation. I think like small dogs are hilarious, and they just bring so much laughter to me because they're just funny. And for me, that's an aspect of how I bring beauty into the world and into my vision, is finding humor in everyday moments. And so cultivate that. This is going to be a long journey, and you're not going to change who you are. And if you can give yourself the opportunity to reflect in a way that brings you joy, then that'll be really powerful move. And simplification is going to be very key. and bringing in beauty every day. In a small way, it doesn't matter. You don't have to tell anybody, but bringing in beauty. So this felt much more like an annual or sort of like a new year forecast for me, but there you have it. Always the surprise, new moon in Aquarius. And if you don't already subscribe to Indigo Instinct on YouTube, please, please, please go subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I would love to continue to grow that community. And if you're on Instagram, as always, please drop a heart, leave a comment if this resonated or if it didn't. And thank you for being patient with my brain and the way I communicate. And I really hope that you have a wonderful Lunar New Year. Blessings.